Chapter 8 Conditions in Scratch. Learning Outcomes. In this chapter, you will learn about the different shapes of scratch blocks, use of sensing blocks, meaning and types of variables, defining variables in Scratch, use of conditional blocks. Hey Sukaba, my friend told me that she had developed a code in Scratch to check which of the three numbers is greatest. That is normal for any coding language of computers. But that is not possible. Scratch is a graphical coding language. It cannot do mathematics. And using the Scratch blocks? Yes, there are blocks for that. Oh, Sukaba, please tell us about that. We also want to do that. Sure. Let me tell you about the blocks that are used for this mathematical coding. Shapes of blocks. Let us categorize blocks on the basis of their shapes. Hat-shaped blocks. We wear the hat on our heads. Some blocks in Scratch look like they have a bump on the top. Refer to figure 8.1. As the hat is always worn on the top, these blocks always come in the beginning of the script for the sprite. No other block can be placed above these blocks. Stacking blocks. Stacking blocks are the most commonly used blocks in Scratch script. These blocks are used to create a stack of blocks and contain the main commands for the sprite. These blocks have a puddle at the top and a bump at the bottom. This makes it possible to place other blocks above and below these blocks. Hexagon-shaped blocks. These blocks in Scratch are used to check whether a condition is true or false. As the result can only be two, true or false, these blocks are also called the Boolean blocks. These blocks look like a long hexagon. Refer to figure 8.3. Rounded rectangle blocks. These are the blocks that have one pair of straight edges and one pair of rounded edges and look like rounded rectangles. Refer to figure 8.4. These blocks can hold values and perform mathematical operations contained in the block. When you click on the block, the answer is reported below the block in the form of a callout. That is why these blocks are also called the reporter blocks. C-shaped blocks. These blocks look like the letter C of the English alphabet. Refer to figure 8.5. These are generally the blocks that perform some action after checking the condition. These are also used to repeat a set of actions. So, these blocks are also called the wrap blocks and the loop blocks. Shoe blocks. We wear the shoes on our feet. Some blocks in Scratch look like they have a puddle on the top. Refer to figure 8.6. As the shoe is always worn on the foot, these blocks always come at the end of the script for the sprite. No other block can be placed below these blocks. Sensing blocks. The sensing blocks are used to make the sprite sense the input given by the user by moving the mouse or typing with the help of the keyboard when the script is executed. Some examples of sensing blocks are: the touching mouse pointer block is used to check if the sprite is touching the mouse pointer or not. The other option that can be checked using the drop-down arrow in the block is whether the sprite is touching the edge of the stage or not. If the condition is true, the stack of blocks after this block is executed. If the condition is false, then another stack of blocks is executed. The touching color block is used to check if the sprite is touching the color selected in the circle inside the block or not. If the condition is true, the stack of blocks after this block is executed. If the condition is false, then another stack of blocks is executed. The color is touching block is used to check if the color selected in the first circle is touching the color selected in the second circle at any time during the execution of the script. If the condition is true, the stack of blocks after this block is executed. If the condition is false, then another stack of blocks is executed. The key space pressed block is used to check if the user has pressed the spacebar key as given inside the block. The other key options that can be checked using the drop-down arrow in the block are any of the 4 arrow keys, up, down, left, right, any of the 26 letter keys A to Z, any of the 10 number keys 0 to 9, or any key on the keyboard. If the condition is true, the stack of blocks after this block is executed. If the condition is false, then another stack of blocks is executed. The Ask What's Your Name and Wait block is used to take input from the user on the basis of question mentioned in the text box of the block. The text of the question can be changed while developing the script. The user cannot change the question but can type the answer in the text box that appears on the stage at the time of execution of the script. Using sense blocks. You can develop a simple script that senses input from the keyboard by starting a new project and then following the steps shown in figure 8.7. Step 1. Click on Delete to remove the default sprite. Step 2. Hover the mouse pointer over the Choose a Sprite to open a list of options. 3. Click on Choose a Sprite option from the sub-list that opens. The Choose a Sprite dialog box will open. 4. Click and select a sprite. For example, select Dinosaur. Step 5. Hover the mouse pointer over the Choose a Backdrop to open a list of options. 6. Click on Choose a Backdrop option from the sub-list that opens. The Choose a Backdrop dialog box will open. Step 7. Click and select a backdrop. For example, select Beach Rio. 8. Click and drag the sprite to move it to the desired position on the stage. 9. Click on the Sensing block category. 10. Click and drag the Ask block to the script area. 11. Click on the block. You will notice that a speech bubble appears on the stage about the dinosaur asking the question, "What's your name?" You can change the question also in the text box. 12. A text box appears at the bottom of the stage with the blinking cursor. Type your name in the text box. Click on the tick next to the text box or press the Enter key. 13. Click and drag the Say block to the script area. 14. Click on the checkbox next to the Answer block in the Sensing block category. The name will appear on top left corner of the stage. 15. Click and drag the Answer block and place it inside the Say block in the script area. 16. Click on the script to see the output. The name will appear as a callout on top of the dinosaur sprite. Defining variables in Scratch. A computer program is defined as a group of commands and instructions that tell the computer what to do and how to do it. In Scratch, the computer program is called script. A script is made up by stacking many blocks together in a sequence for each sprite. These blocks act as commands and instructions for the computer. Every block, picture, text, numbers, and special characters we use to create a script is called data. The data that is entered by the user is stored in temporary memory of the computer. This temporary data is stored in variables. Variable means something that changes. The data entered by the user can be changed every time the script is run, so it is called variable. The default text in Move, Say, Think, Ask, etc. blocks can be changed. So, these all are also variables. There are mainly two types of variables. Numeric variables. These are used to store numbers. These numbers can be used for calculations. Examples of numeric variables are 230228, 1378, etc. String variables. These are used to store letters, numbers, and characters. The numbers stored as string variables cannot be used for calculations. The string variables are stored with quotation marks. Examples of string variables are I study in class 5 in double quotes, you are welcome in double quotes, the symbol of Indian currency is in double quotes, etc. Defining variables in Scratch. New variables can be easily created in Scratch. To create a variable, follow the steps shown in figure 8.8. 1. Click on the variables block category. 2. Click on Make a Variable block. The new variable dialog box will appear. 3. Type a variable name in the new variable name text box, for example, Sport. 4. Click on the For All Sprites Radio button if you want to use the variable for all sprites on the stage. Click on the For This Sprite Only Radio button if you want to use that variable for only a selected sprite. 5. Click on the OK button. 6. Note that the variable name Sport appears in the list of variables in the blocks palette. 7. Develop a similar Scratch script for use of variables. 8. The question given in Save block will appear as a speech bubble of the sprite. Note that the answer and Sport have blank boxes on top left corner of the stage. Type an answer to the questions in the text box at the bottom of the stage and press Enter key. 9. The answer will appear as a speech bubble of the sprite. Also, the answer will appear in the answer and variable name Sport on the top left corner of the stage. Conditional blocks in Scratch. There are situations when you have to perform a task that depends on some condition. For example, you want to eat an orange. There are two actions that can happen. You search for an orange in the refrigerator. If you find the orange, you eat it. If you do not find the orange, you close the refrigerator and come back. You search for an orange in the refrigerator. If you find the orange, you eat it. If you do not find the orange but find an apple, you eat the apple. This can also be expressed as, if orange is available, then eat the orange. If orange is available, then eat the orange, else eat the apple. To solve similar problems in Scratch, we use conditional blocks. There are two types of conditional blocks in Scratch. These blocks are present in the control category of blocks. These conditional blocks are: if-then block is used when an action is to be performed when the condition is true. If the condition is not true, the blocks inside the conditional loop will not be executed and the blocks outside the conditional loop will be executed. If, then, else block is used when an action is to be performed when the condition is true and another action is to be performed when the condition is not true. When the condition is true, the blocks inside the then section of the loop will be run. If the condition is false, the blocks inside the else section of the loop will be run. Let us understand the use of these conditional loops with the help of some scripts. First of all, change the backdrop to blue sky. Also, change the sprite to dove and delete the default sprite. Refer to figure 8.9. Now, design the script as shown in figure 8.10. You will observe that the dove glides to random positions and its size increases. Refer to figure 8.11 till it does not touch the green color. As soon as it touches the green color, it is moved to the center of the stage with the original size.